Good evening, Drew.
There's really nothing like last minute changes to the doc. Right as the call is ringing.
I love it. you're just moving stuff around and all kinds of stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we have sort of a good flow of us going back and forth, and I felt like it was going to be a pretty heavy Drew episode yet again. So I wanted to move some of these things around. How you doing?
Not too. I'm tired, but not too bad. How about you?
Yeah, kids back in school.
They are. Yep. The grind has begun anew.
Mm-hmm. Hey, did Jennifer go back to in person?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure because she was doing remote only, right?
2 years ago she did remote only. Last year she went back to in person.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought for some reason.
Yeah, the pandemic was the heart of the pandemic was 2 years ago, Drew. 2 years.
Buddy. Don't even remind me.
Woo!
Okay, now you said Zach had a football game last week, right?
Mm-hmm. He did.
How'd that go?
It was good. It was good. It was good as far as I'm a parent of someone in the band. I enjoyed watching the band perform during halftime. The football game itself was awful.
Is your team bad or?
They were so far out of the one game they played, they stunk it up. So
okay,
yeah, it was pretty bad.
Now this was important because Zach is in the varsity marching band. Yes,
they just have the one. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Man, home football games.
Yeah, but he's a sophomore now, so like he knows what he's doing. So yeah.
Yeah. And what grade is Arabelle now?
She is in 7th grade.
Okay, so last year was her first year of middle school.
It is, yes. Yep.
Okay. And is she still doing her French horn deal?
She is. Yes. Yep.
Excellent.
She likes it. She likes the French horn. So, yeah.
Now, anything interesting? I mean, we'll get off the kids thing here in a minute, but like anything interesting happening with their school this year? Like hard classes, stuff they don't like, changes?
No, I don't think so. Like, they're all seem to be enjoying everything. Arabelle hates the bus.
I get it.
She takes the bus home. She doesn't have an assigned seat, so she kind of just goes wherever she can. But the problem is she's bringing a French horn to and from school because I can't afford to buy her 2 French horns, school horn and a home horn because they're expensive.
Horns all the way down.
She has to carry it back and forth, and she is a slender girl, and the horn is bigger than she is. So, yeah.
Wait, is assigned seating on a bus a thing?
Yes, yeah.
I never had that.
Yeah.
It was a free for all. It was like the Southwest of bus seating. Like you just sort of got on. Well, let me put it to you this way. There was no assigned seating. However, people had seats, if you kind of catch my drift.
Yeah, there was a class system in the bus.
The older kids were in the back, and it was super cool to ride on like the very, very back bench. Mm-hmm. And sort of the more social capital you had, the closer to the back you could get.
Yes. Yeah. Same with me. Yeah. So I rode towards the front of the bus. I was a nerd.
I was a back 3/4 of the bus guy.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, and what's really weird is when I was in elementary school, my bus ride was very short. It was probably a 10-minute bus ride because the elementary school was in the same town that I lived in, and I probably lived about 1.5 miles as the crow flies from the school. So we were like the third stop on sort of a main road, and after it picked us up, it would kind of go down the rest of this hill, turn left, and then just make a beeline to the school. Now, when I was in middle school, my middle school was one town away, and my bus ride was approximately 25 minutes. So a lot of shit happened on that bus.
Got it. Yeah.
And here was the cool thing. we had the bus driver that had the bus that had the radio.
Oh.
And that was hot shit because he would listen to like morning drive time radio, which I don't. You could make an argument. Well, this was like morning zoo type.
Like
stuff.
I was going to say,
Howard
like
Stern.
morning zoo kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Howard Stern or anything like that, but it was great. I think there was like 2 whole buses in the district that was fitted with the radio. And when I say fitted with the radio, what I really mean is there was a speaker. There was like 2 speakers at the front of the bus. If you were in the back of the bus, you weren't hearing it. But if you were in the middle to the front of the bus, just because the bus is loud, and especially in the summer when the windows are open, because they're not air conditioned. At least they're not. They weren't when I was in school. I don't know if they are now.
I don't think they are now. They are either now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but the bus sucks. Yeah, I agree with her. Bus sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to topics. Let's hit this first one.
Drew, did you watch the surprise the Sandman bonus episode?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, they did a great job. So we sort of alluded to. I won't call it the problem of the Sandman, but once you sort of gotten through. He gets his powers back, and he rebuilds the dreaming, and you get through the saga of the doll's house. The rest of the Sandman stuff is just very short episodic. Like, there's this one arc where there's, he goes. There's like a take on the Canterbury Tales. There's a take on A Midsummer's Night Dream. There's the Orpheus stuff, which goddamn, I hope they do that because that storyline was great. But the kind people at Netflix gave us 2 episodes that were each about a half hour long instead of 1 hour long.
Two shorter episodes in one episode. Yeah. 2 short stories. Yeah.
I remembered the first one, which is about the cats. I had completely forgotten about the second one, which as soon as it started, I'm like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah, I was the same way. It took me a little bit to realize what was going on.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, it's this. Yes.
Yeah, Calliope. Yeah.
Calliope. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Calliope. Yeah.
Calliope.
Just, again, phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Like, they just crushed it.
They absolutely did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great because in both the stories, the titular, the Sandman, is barely in them.
Yeah.
Like he is, but
it's and that's sort of what happens in the book where the character of Morpheus sort of takes a back seat and you sort of see the lives and interaction and adventures of people who are in that universe that sort of like are Sandman adjacent. And those were good examples.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I just thought it was, again, phenomenally done.
Yeah.
I think that is a good sign for the series, the fact that they went ahead and released those. I think what's interesting is they held those back, right? So I guess they kind of wanted to see what people thought first.
I mean, I'm guessing they intended to do it all along. Just like, they had the 10 episode arc. They wanted to release that and then probably, wait a week or 2 and then get back in the media, get back in the news cycle by releasing the bonus episode. Because like the bonus episode, it was not related to the main story of the season at all.
Right.
I did read that because Neil Gaiman's been doing lots of press for this, which is good for him because that dude needs to get paid.
Yep.
When they signed the deal with Netflix, he insisted that if for any reason they decided not to pick up the show, that they had full rights to shop it elsewhere.
Okay.
So that gives me hope that even if Netflix, because I mean, Netflix is fucking all over the place these days with cancellations and stuff. So it makes me happy that maybe, if it gets canceled but then again, like, I mean, oddly enough, critics be damned. Like, I guess it was like the most streamed or the most watched television show on streaming networks for that week when it came out. So,
well, every piece of media in my sphere of browsing the internet loved it.
Yeah,
it was only when you told me that the Metacritic stuff was kind of lukewarm and there were people who didn't like it. That was kind of a shock to me because here's sort of the best endorsement that I can give to this. And I said this last show or 2 shows ago or whenever we talked about this. I want my wife to watch this, and I think she would enjoy it. She's very late to the Marvel stuff. She liked Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if I could get her to watch the whole, Infinity War saga, right? But
right.
I think that she could totally get into the Sandman.
Yeah.
And my cousin, who is a listener, texted me that said, she's going to give the Sandman a shot. She got to the part where the dragon dies, and she's like, I don't know if I can do this. And I'm like, just stick with it. And
yeah,
hopefully she's still watching. But no. So in terms of things that are sort of left to cover in the show, I really hope they do the Orpheus saga. They still need to do the Key to Hell saga.
Yes. That's going to be next, right? Because of the after credit scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
More stuff with Despair.
And plus, what's her face who plays Lucifer is absolutely
wonderful.
So we need more of that. Yeah.
More of death, more of desire, more of despair.
Yeah.
We need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We need all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful. So again, if you're listening to us yammer on about this, just go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch it, please. It's so good. You don't even have to be a big comic book nerd, because Lord knows I'm trying to be, but I'm so glad I discovered that, and I think they did a good job with the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'm gonna let you make fun of me for a little while.
Okay.
Paul, what is it I want more than anything in the world? That's right, affirmation. So
I was gonna say like a few degrees cooler on your temperatures on your computer.
Oh, buddy, we're
getting there.
We're getting there. God damn you. No. So, no. So, I often wonder if my parents would be proud of me, and I'm not saying this like fishing for a compliment. Just hear me out.
Okay.
So, again, if you sort of look at people in my family, I come from teachers. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a pattern maker in a factory who went back and got his teaching certificate, became a teacher. I have several aunts and uncles, living and dead, that were teachers. I have I have a spouse who is a teacher. I have cousins who are teachers. And for those of them that are not teachers, they're pharmacists. So I was always sort of the odd duck out in that I really liked computers. So I was a little bit of the black sheep in the family, whereas I didn't necessarily go to study pharmacy. I didn't necessarily want to go be a teacher. And what weighs on me in my middle age is would my parents have been more proud of me if I had taken up one of the quote unquote family professions?
Mm-hmm.
I think that if I had put them on the spot, they would probably say no. But it's just my insecurity and my guilt around whether or not they would be proud of me.
I get that. Yeah.
Now, compounding that is that the skills that my parents possess, I do not possess. And I'm not just talking about patience to be a teacher. For instance, my father is incredibly gifted at mathematics. He is also an incredibly talented and gifted, I don't want to use the word handyman because he doesn't do like plumbing and he doesn't do electric, but he is just outstanding with woodworking. Like in my old house, we did some, I carried stuff. He did it, but like he built built-in shelves, and he can do woodworking, and he can paint, and he can do all sorts of stuff that I had every opportunity growing up to help and learn and do, and I never did. And you want to talk about regret, buddy? Like that's a huge one. Like I never took shop class. I never took home ec. I never developed the skills of people who could, I feel bad calling an electrician to come replace something that I'm probably fully capable of doing if I watch enough YouTube videos. But perfect example, I still haven't replaced those switches in my bathroom. And like last weekend, I got a bug up my ass where I was going to replace those switches. I got the faceplate off. I pulled the switch out. There was more than 2 wires. And I said, nope. So I put everything back. I said, I'm calling an electrician. And that's what I do, right? So outside of painting a small room, I'm incapable of doing much with power tools. And I'm thankful that I am talented and blessed enough in my career that when these other things need done, I can pay someone else to do it. I think that there is sweat equity in the sense of doing something yourself, and I sort of get that after I've learned to adopt to do my work in my yard. But I'm getting off topic. The point of the fact is that I didn't inherit the ability to do math, and I certainly didn't inherit my father's skills with tools and woodworking and painting. Likewise, my mother was a teacher. She got up early, made us breakfast, went to school, taught all day, came home, and always cooked us dinner. We had pizza Fridays, but dinner in my house, my mom would come home. Didn't matter how much of a shitty day she had, she could whip up some tasty meals. I mean, every time I go home and visit my mom, there are still recipes that don't sound like much, but just mean a lot to me. Pizza burgers, steak and tacos, her pizza recipe, chicken and dumplings, whatever she would make, she could whip it up. And Paul, I'm lucky that I can make toast. I never learned to cook. I never learned to do any of that stuff. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because I made eggs for the first time this week.
What kind of eggs, Drew?
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
The easiest, lowest tier eggs you can make. And buddy, I'm here to tell you again, my wife, in her infinite patience, took the time to show me how to properly. I'm not kidding. To properly crack an egg, how to oil the pan up, how to pour it, to scramble them up, throw them into the pan, cook them correctly without setting the house on fire. And I know that you cook for your family.
I do.
So
I am the one who cooks. Yes.
Yeah, you are the one who cooks, and buddy, I envy that. Like the fact I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. Like it's just that is such a fundamental skill that I lack. Like if it doesn't involve putting something in a microwave, I mean, I could. Okay, let's be fair. I can grill. Grilling something, and I'm not saying grilling well. Like I'm not out there prepping like an 8-hour brisket or frying a turkey or doing some of the crazy shit that people, can do. But if you give me a plate of chicken breasts, I can grill that. You give me some hamburgers, I can grill that. Hot dogs, whatever. I can handle that. But
so, do you want to cook more? Because if you do, I have a recommendation.
Well, I might. So the reason that this became such a hot topic was I had some really honest discussions with my nutritionist last week.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So part of the problem is that number one, my weight has been steadily increasing, not drastically, but I'm going in the wrong direction with my fitness and my weight and my body composition. I'm not talking about the end of the world here. I'm talking about 3 or 4 pounds, but things are not going in the right direction. So, and my nutritionist, his name's Andy. He's, again, my life is full of patient people, and thank God for that. Mm-hmm. Over the past few check-ins where we do our body measurements and we talk about nutrition, he goes, Drew, you're a data guy. Bring me data. Show me what you're doing. Show me what you're doing. Show me what you're doing. And I used to be really good at that, and I haven't been. And we got to the point this last meeting where I got on the scale and I got on the body measuring device, and he looked at the results and he looked at me and said, bro, we got to talk about what you're doing because it ain't working. And one of the areas that we identified is that I don't take enough responsibility for my nutrition. I rely on too many other people, whether that be Mandy or ordering out with Chipotle or doing these other things that, to fit my nutritional needs when I need to take more of an active role in that. Compounding that issue is, regardless of where I'm at with my weight, I don't eat enough. So I have certain nutritional goals and I'm falling very short of them because I'm just not eating enough. So it was one of those discussions where it was, you need to eat more and you need to take a more active role in what you're eating and preparing. So we started with breakfast for now, where I'm cooking eggs, 3 eggs, which, cholesterol be damned, getting the protein, getting the proper nutrients for breakfast instead of just eating one, breakfast bar and calling it a day, right? Like actually having a breakfast. So that's sort of where this all came from. It's easier than I thought it was going to be. I haven't fucked it up yet. I haven't burned my eggs yet, but I say all that to say, like, that's where this is coming from. Now, talking to a man who has been cooking much longer than I have, what would be your other suggestions for things that I could try?
Well, so if you're just looking to broaden like your skill set and learn some new techniques and learn what things go well together. Now, granted, this may be hard with your nutritional needs. You might have to look around, but I really recommend like a meal delivery service, right? Where you pick a couple. I mean, we do HelloFresh. We just do it 2 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, I just buy stuff and prepare. But it's nice because it's like I'm trying to get my kids to eat more things, so we've kind of just agreed that like, hey, our HelloFresh, we're going to try to be a little bit more adventurous with our foods, and you're going to try to eat it, and you might not like everything, but you're going to try it. But I like it because you get you get stuff that tastes good, but you have to prepare it right, and you just start learning some basic techniques and some basic flavors and some basic seasoning and just stuff that you can do to cook and just broaden your skill set. Now, obviously, like I'm not sure HelloFresh is going to be the right thing for you because I mean, if you get HelloFresh, you'll learn something real quick. Butter and oil are fucking delicious. So in fact, if I was gonna if I was gonna give you one tip to make your eggs taste better, I would say don't use oil, use butter. But that's probably like against everything you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So I have to be careful where that kind of stuff sneaks in.
Yeah.
So we have like a I think it's actually like an avocado spray oil that goes on the pan, and I don't use much. Like I literally just coat the pan enough so that the eggs don't stick to it because I don't want to ruin Mandy's stuff.
Yeah.
I'm looking at HelloFresh right now. Don't make me sign in. Why are you doing this? Meats and veggies. Meats and veggies looks good. Yum.
I mean, they have lots of different things every month you can pick from, and if you don't like anything, you can just say no, fuck it, skip it, I don't want it. Don't do the mistake that I do. If you do HelloFresh, make sure you're constantly picking your meals, or they'll just send you stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it'd be like, I don't want that. That's gross. So just keep that in mind. But that's what we do.
5 meals for 2 people per week. You can't just do one. You can't just do one person.
I don't know, because we do 2 meals for 4 people a week. I don't know what the other options are.
There's literally customize your plan size, number of people, 2, 4. What if I was a loner? Like I'm just supposed to just let this other meal go to waste?
I'd have leftovers, eat it for lunch. I don't know.
No, you're not. Okay.
Yep.
Fair. So a number. So if I wanted to do this 5 times a week, number of people.
It can be pricey. It can be pricey.
Yeah. Box price $89. Price per serving. First box total $100. It would be like $90 a week.
Yeah. Which isn't horrible. Like I said, we don't do it all week. We just do it 2 nights a week. But
I know that there are other services out there, the names of which escape me at the moment, for more, paleo friendly, more
absolutely
more carnivore.
I'm sure there's a niche out there that is what your diet requires that you could do. I just like it because you don't have to seek out the recipes. You don't have to, do anything. You get a box, you get all the ingredients, and you follow instructions. You're going to learn how to, dice and cut things up, and, even simple things like, how to bake vegetables, how to, cook chicken in a pan, stuff like that. You'll get some exposure to things. You'll learn what you like, learn what you don't like. And you'll just gain a little bit more confidence. And the great thing is like, if there's recipes that you really like, but you don't want to keep doing the food service, you can always just keep the recipes and buy the food yourself. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm looking at some of these recipes, and they do look really fucking delicious. Difficulty hard. And I like that they have the nutritional values in here too.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of these things have a lot of carbs, and I'm sure you could
Well,
probably substitute
there's a lot of things where you can substitute sides, and you can always, like,
butter.
instead of having pasta, you can do broccoli or stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I mean,
or you
I'm
could be a
just
fatty like me and add garlic bread to meals because garlic bread's delicious. Yeah.
well. So to help put this in perspective, right? So I do the whole macronutrients tracking. Sorry, and I'm just sort of clicking around in some of the recipes here, and I'm not clicking on the obvious ones. Like I'm not clicking on the bacon buckaroo burger, right? I'm clicking on like beef tenderloin and balsamic steak sauce, or steak with burrata and arugula salad. Like I'm clicking on some of the things that look a little more healthier, right? Um, the carbohydrates on these are astounding. I don't know. What's the serving size? Per serving. Okay. So
Yeah.
one person. Like this one's like 82 grams of carbohydrate. And just to sort of put things in perspective, like my goals every day, let me see what my current number's at. I need to log into my tool. So I really shouldn't exceed 220 grams of carbs a day. So if I'm going to have 90 for dinner, I mean, I have to be careful where the rest come from. Now, with my diet right now, just today, like I literally logged everything I ate and drank today. I only consumed 1,500 calories, and that's up. Like that's up from like 1,200 calories.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm at a huge calorie deficit right now, and it's actually hurting my body, not helping. So I need to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, but I need to be careful about where the sources sort of come from. Now, I had carbs to give today. Like I only had 90 grams worth of carbs today. So like today, I probably could have like had some more carbs in there, but like I was pretty much on the money with fat. Like I missed it by 6. I was under by 6, I should say. And my protein number is now with the eggs is right where it was, just banging. So, anyway, no, I'll take a look at this. Maybe we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, and there may be, like I said, there's probably services out there that are more, whatever it is that you're doing, friendly. I eat because food's delicious.
Food's wonderful.
So yeah. Yep.
Food is amazing. Now do you have a referral code for HelloFresh?
I probably do.
If you dig one up, send it to me. Maybe I'll just sign up to get like 1 or 2 and
Okay.
we'll give it a go. Maybe Mandy can teach me how to cook that.
I will I will look for that and dig that up. Yep.
All right. And to be continued on that.
Yes.
Okay. I have a lot of questions about this next one, buddy.
Oh, so I spend a lot of time at my job. I work from home primarily. I spend a lot of my time on video calls with people I work with vendors, people I buy software products from, stuff like that.
Sure.
I've never really liked my webcam or webcams in general. It's, I'm not a photography snob, but I've had nice, DSLR cameras. I know what good, optics look like, right? Like, and it's not a webcam. It's not this Logitech piece of shit that I have before, the built-in ones into my built-in ones in my MacBook or stuff like that. So I've kind of just been like, I haven't been actively looking for a new webcam. My always thought was, well, if a decent webcam kind of just came across my path, and I would give one a try. So there's been one. It's called the Opal camera. I think it's the Opal C1. It's MBK HD or whatever his name is. He likes the camera. It's actually his travel webcam. And I heard a couple podcasters talking about it, and I gave it a try. And now, granted, so this webcam is okay. So first of all, it's $300. Okay, whatever. Like I've spent more money on stupider things. It's fine. You can't just buy it, Drew. You can't just buy it. You have to request a reservation, and eventually you'll get a link to buy one. I'm guessing they can only make so many so fast. So that's how they kind of that's how they control it. It's very software driven, and right now that software only runs on Macs. There is no Windows version. So do not buy this if you're a Windows person. They're working on it, but clearly, Mac is the priority. That's what they like. It's so, this, it's not perfect, but it's pretty nice, Drew. Like, it's got lots of interesting features. It's got, the bokeh black background blurring effect, but like it's actually got some pretty fast glass. I think it goes all the way like f-stop 0.7. The rumor is that the sensor is the same sensor Google uses in the Pixel cameras, or the Pixel phones. And those are generally known for, taking good pictures and stuff. It's got the whole like auto follow for the face. You can add, some basic effects. It'll do, automatic white balancing, and you can, touch things up and things like that. It's the verdict's still out, but my initial my initial thoughts are very good, and like the picture quality is great. Like, as someone who spends a lot of time on camera, I think I look pretty damn good, Drew.
Yeah. So when I cracked open the show notes and I saw this, and I clicked on it, this scratches a lot of my this scratches a lot of itches for me. So okay, you brought up a couple interesting things there, and you definitely answered one of my questions. Now, to put this in perspective, okay, if I'm reading this right, this is a mirrorless camera. It does 4K.
Yep.
And it's a wonderfully small little package designed to sit on your monitor. I'm looking at pictures of the cable. It's braided. It looks wonderful.
USB-C comes in white and black. I bought the white version. It's got a microphone array built into it, which I've never used yet. But
so to put this in perspective, to get similar performance for me when I'm doing my streaming and whatnot with my camera, I spent easily double this.
Yeah.
Because I'm using an actual Sony Alpha A6500 or A6000.
And I knew if I went down that route, right, and if I actually bought like an actual camera, I could get better everything. But I didn't want to do that.
My point is, I don't know that you have to with this.
The picture quality is very good.
It does. I mean, I'm looking at the comparisons on the website, and I do need a camera for my Mac. My Sony is pretty much just attached to my ring light and mounted above my desk so that it can record me when I stream or record videos from my computer or whatnot. I do need a better webcam for my Mac. Now, what's interesting here is you sent me this link, and we hadn't talked about it yet. And of course, I see the reserve button, and I'm like, okay. What's interesting is that when I did my reservation, I clicked Windows.
Oh.
I have not gotten a reservation. Let me be clear. And I just did it yesterday or today or whatever you put it in there.
I think I put it in there today. Yeah. So there is not a Windows version yet, as far as I know. If I go to there's a fax somewhere.
Well, but see, that's my question. Is there if I do the reservation for Windows, am I going to get a unit that won't work with my Mac? I have to think not. You just have to get the software.
My gut would tell me is you're not going to get a link until the Windows software is ready.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Opal build dot, so it's like .2 software versions .2.
Yeah, 2.1. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm looking at Opal build. Yeah. So I only click that just because. Look, I'm looking at the design of this thing. It's clearly targeted to people with taste.
It looks good.
It does look like a nice little unit, and I think it would work wonderful with my Mac.
Yes, it would.
So
absolutely.
I would love to have one of these things. So is there anything you don't like about it?
So obviously, it's new. It's literally software 2.1. Every once in a while, the autofocus just gets a little wonky, and you either have to like put your hand up to it and like move it away to kind of get the autofocus or like turn it on, turn it off again. That's the only problem I've had with it. In fact, you know what? Hold on. Let's.
Oh, so we're gonna do it, huh?
So right now, I have an absolutely awful situation where I have a very bright light behind my head.
Okay.
So it's absolutely awful. Here, let me. So I'm going to send you. It records at 4K. I'm going to send you a 1080p video of me right now.
That still does a pretty good job.
Yeah, it does a really good. It's awful conditions in here, and it's doing a really good job. Okay, so
focus is off.
See the focus? Okay, so watch.
There it goes.
There we go. Yep. Or you can turn focus. Like if you don't move a lot, you can turn focus lock on, and it just stays. I tend to like move when I'm on camera. So I don't. I mean, but it's also got one of these things where I could.
Yeah. So that's all software driven right there.
It is 100% software. Yep.
Now that works with your M1 and everything, or M2.
Yeah. It works great. It works great on my M1 MacBook Air. It works great on my I'm on my M2 MacBook, my personal M2 MacBook Air right now. Yeah, it works great.
Man, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Now, so here's my next question. So this software looks like it does a lot of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Background replacer, autofocus, blurring, all that stuff. How does that play with Teams? Because Teams has some of that shit built in too, right?
So I don't use... Yeah, so basically I've stopped using any of that stuff with Teams, and I do it all through the Opal C1 software now.
So you turn off all those features, and and all this sort of bubbles up the stack to Teams.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sold. I would love to have one of these. Does it come with a case or anything to carry it around in if you want to travel with it?
Hold on. I can't remember if it has a bag in the box or not. No.
Okay.
No, there's nothing. But I bet you could find something.
Yeah, I'm looking. Box contents. Opal C1 camera mount, USB-C cable, and lens cover. Huh. And you got the white one, huh?
I did get the white one.
God, I do love me a braided cable. It looks good.
The cable is very nice. I think, I'm going to go back through my email. I think somewhere at some point, some, vice president of user experience sent me an email, which I'm sure it's all automated, but I think I can ask for a code. Yeah. So I will reply to Irene. Hi, Irene. And ask for a code for a friend
for your podcast co-host where we talk about the camera.
Yeah. Okay. I will definitely do that. Yep. I will get you a code, Drew.
Okay.
I will move you to the top of the list. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. No, this looks good, buddy. Well, see, and this might solve a thorny problem that I have right now. So when I'm presenting or need to have a video conference presence right now, I have two webcams on my connected to my Mac. I have the one that is built into my MacBook, and I have the one that is built into the LG monitor. I present standing up. So if I'm in a meeting where I need to be on video, I am like 98% of the time standing. So the LG on my standing desk is too high. It literally captures the top of my shiny head. I usually use the built-in MacBook Pro camera, and it's at an angle, so it kind of catches like the side of me.
And like the couple things you really can't tell from the pictures. One, so the little stand that comes with it attaches with the regular tripod mount. So if you wanted to put it on a tripod, you definitely could. Another thing that's absolutely a nice little touch. It's got a magnetic lens cap.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You just snap that baby on there.
That's wonderful. Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Now, I have to ask, were you able to get work to pay for this?
No, I pay for it for myself.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good man.
No. I mean, this is it. Everybody I work with doesn't care about this. They're all using shitty
Yeah.
Like
I know who you
but
work with, and
yeah,
that tracks.
it's fine. They're just using the stuff that comes out of their laptop or whatever. Like, it's fine. This is a me problem, not a them problem. Like, I wanted something nicer. Uh,
Yeah, you leveled up.
yeah, I did. I leveled up. I wanted something nicer. I always hated how I looked on webcams. There it is. Opal
Yeah, I look
C1.
terrible, so the solution is to get more of me, more pictures of me.
I mean, so like that's actually one of the like with software, they have a what do they call it? Touch up, which does that kind of Instagram smoothing effect. So yeah, if you really want to look good, you can just crank that up. You can crank that all the way up. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It does the Instagram kind of smoothing thing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you sold me, buddy.
Okay.
I would love to try this on Windows as well, but
Okay.
as somebody who is a primary Mac user for work,
Yeah.
I think this will look pretty good.
Yeah, the Windows version's coming. They're working on it. That's what they say. So.
Oh yeah, I mean it's software. Software's hard.
Yep.
Yeah, computers are hard. So the only thing you don't like about it is, sorry, I already forgot.
The autofocus.
The autofocus
issues.
okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure in a patch that'll be fixed and it'll be absolutely fine. So
my Logitech 4K webcam that I had tried to do that shit and it would always freak out. I ended up just turning it off.
Yeah.
So if that's the biggest complaint that this thing has, and it can give me 4K DSLR 60 frames per second recording, which I think it can, right?
Yeah,
60
or
30.
Oh, I do. It does not say.
I mean, I'm looking at some of the preview videos, and it certainly looks like it's FPS 60 frames per second.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So it'll do 4K and 1080 up to 60 frames per second. Okay. I mean, looking at the videos on here, it certainly appears that it's a smooth 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I haven't had any problems with it. It's one of those things where people are like, "Did you get a new camera?" I'm like, "I sure did."
Sure fucking did, buddy.
Yeah. And like I try to leave the autofocus on because I rock in my chair in meetings. I'll lean forward, I'll lean back, I'll move around. So I'm kind of in there. But if you were disciplined and stayed in the general same spot, I would just turn focus lock on and just be done with it. Like,
very cool, my friend. Very cool. That's a good find. Yeah. See if you can get me a code.
I definitely will.
I would love to try that out. Okay. So 2 quick updates from me. A little bit of follow up. The first is speaking of computer temperatures. I saw a video. I am subscribed to a channel on YouTube, which is Gamers Nexus. The name I don't necessarily agree with. They do incredibly in-depth hardware reviews, hardware coverage, hardware announcements. They do insane levels of testing. Like they have bought equipment that I'm sure is tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to test things like fan noise.
Right.
Like I'm not even kidding. Like if you were to go to this channel, and it probably doesn't interest you, but I'm sure Zach's probably all over it. But if like you go watch this, like they have some of the best, in my opinion, best technical reporting, best technical reviewers on YouTube today. They published a video where the title of the video is "Arctic Does What Others Won't." One of the things that really gets in Steve, who's the guy that sort of records all the videos, craw on videos, is when companies release shitty products and then double down about being shitty. So there were a couple manufacturers like literally that built power supplies that their main feature was they exploded. And there was one that made a case that literally could short itself out and catch on fire, and they roasted these companies, and the companies responded with, "Well, we just don't think that's accurate." And then Steve was like, "Hold my beer," and they brought in like electrical engineers to like make the power supplies explode with minimal effort. Like,
neat.
Anyway, so Arctic is a company that makes PC cooling stuff. They make fans, they make CPU coolers, they also make all-in-one coolers. And the last 3 computers that I have built, I have used Arctic. The liquid, it's the name of the line that they make is Liquid Freezer.
Okay.
They're all-in-one coolers. And if anybody told me they were looking for one, this would absolutely be my first choice. price for performance, they absolutely cannot be beat. They deliver the best cooling performance for sometimes $100 cheaper than the competition. They forego, not 100% forego, but they mostly forego things like RGB and shit software and all this other stuff. Like it's literally, here's a radiator, here's some fans, here's one cord you plug in, here's how you screw it in, go crazy.
Okay.
They make exceptionally high quality products. I've been very, very happy with the performance. I mean, when I first upgraded to the Ryzen 5000 series and it was running a little hot, I switched over to one of these coolers and it just did an amazing job. The Intel system that I built, again, I bought a brand new one, because I left the other one attached to my motherboard on my old computer. It's now in the back and it is a work computer. I bought a new one for this. It's helped tame this hot processor. Again, just phenomenal job. Anyway, Gamers Nexus published this video, and I watched it the other morning as I was making coffee, and I started to panic because what apparently has happened is the company has acknowledged that coolers produced between a certain time period, not a very big time window, but guess who's just lucky enough to have purchased a cooler during that window?
I'm guessing you.
Yes. Yeah. So they were manufactured with rubber gaskets that go inside the cold plate. And the gasket is sort of what sits between the cold plate and the fins and helps sort of cycle the liquid through the cold plate and then back through the radiator and everything. Apparently the rubber was not galvanized enough. And it can, and best case, what you would be looking at is a slow buildup of the material basically breaking down, reacting with the coolant and the metal, and causing gunk to build up, which reduces the flow and leads to worse cooling performance, and in extreme cases like thermal throttling, to, hey, this might start leaking.
That's bad.
But apparently that is a multiple year problem. And I've only had this cooler for probably 10 months. So worst case, I'm probably affected by a gasket that is breaking down. What Arctic did is said, you know what? This is on us. Go to this website, put in your purchase date. We'll tell you if you're potentially affected. Spoiler alert, I was. We will send you a kit where all you have to do is unscrew the cold plate, swap out this rubber gasket, top off the coolant in case any accidentally spills out. And they just did a phenomenal job with this. I mean, they're exactly what, again, going back to what really drives Steve crazy with some of these system builders and, component manufacturers. They really stepped up. They owned it. They're basically sending these out for free. It's not going to cost me a dime. Now, if I wasn't comfortable doing the repair myself, I could ship it to them on my dime and they'll fix it. And this repair will not void the warranty in any way. So they're going to send me the kit. I'm going to do the repair and I'm going to be happy, and I'll continue to use Arctic, and just a feather in their cap. So if you're listening to this and you build systems, number one, I still recommend Arctic. And if you are using an Arctic cooler, make sure you go watch that video because Steve breaks down the problem. He also does the repair. Like the video is only, the video is only 23 minutes long. The repair is probably 8 of it. The rest of it is him explaining how cool it is that Arctic did this and like what to expect going forward. And again, it's super great. I'm looking at the time code. He actually does the repair starting at 9:25, and he's done at 18. So it's 9 minutes of the video is the actual repair. If you don't care about the rest of his commentary, which again I think he does a really good job, go check that out. Moving on. Keyboard update. That keyboard has been returned.
Couldn't get used to the layout.
Oh no! And what's funny is, like I mentioned on last show, I did some emails and some light coding with it that Thursday when I got it. Friday, I tried using it all day. I went to the gym. I went straight to Micro Center and I couldn't do it. And the thing that really, so this is something I didn't talk about last time because I didn't have a need to do it. So when I realized I didn't have a delete key on my keyboard, that keyboard was fully programmable. it came with software that was designed to change the functionality of the keys. And one would think you could probably add a modifier to a key. So for instance, if I hold down like Control or Alt or Function or whatever, and hit the home key, I could make it become end. Paul, for the life of me, that software it shipped with was ass.
Couldn't do it.
I could not make it work. The best I could do was make the key home and make the modifier end. I'm sorry, make the key end and make the modifier home. But that's not what the key said, and that breaks my brain. So I could not get it to do what I wanted. And then I started reading the forums and other people that wanted to do this, and it's like, download this hacked firmware. And I'm like, nope. I have a mortgage. I have other stuff I have to do. I absolutely cannot fuck around with custom keyboard firmware. No, that's a hard no. So I took it back, and I ended up getting a Keychron K8 Pro.
Nice. Okay.
I do so. Again, like I mentioned on last show, the only ones that Micro Center carried were the ones with the clicky blue switches, which I did not want.
Got it.
I loved the switches that were on that GMMK. They did not have enough of them for me to build that, so I got switches that were comparable. So I have some linear silvers on here right now, and they are wonderful. They are absolutely wonderful. I love the way it feels. This is a 10 keyless, so I have the full experience of what I want. If I have any criticisms of this, the USB cable they give you is entirely too short, and I get it. This is designed to be used wireless. I am not using it wirelessly.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying a braided cable that still was not long enough from Keychron. So I had to go buy a USB extension cord to make this work. But otherwise, the keyboard itself is very sturdy. I did not like the rounded keycaps that came with it. They just felt weird to me. So I ordered a different set of keycaps from Keychron. Where did those go? I thought I had a link open. I ordered, let me see if I can find it here quickly. I could have sworn I had these open.
So I can tell you which one I got.
Which one did you get?
I'm grabbing a link right now. I got the Ocean. So they're PBT key. Hold on. I'll just.
Well,
they're blue. They're blue.
Yeah, but which key set? Double shot ABS full key set Ocean? Like where was it?
I don't know.
So I'm looking at the accessories now. I don't see that under keycaps.
It's just you have to click on keycaps. Don't go into the sub menu. Just click on the keycap. Yeah.
I see. Mm-hmm. And you got Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
They're PBT. So that's
Yeah. So I went with the OEM die sub wheat gray.
Oh, that was on my short list of ones I was considering. Yes.
Yeah. So I went with these. They're cream colored. They're not white. So it's got that little retro kind of IBM keyboard feel.
Yep.
The enter and escape keys are yellow, which is just wonderful. These will probably show filth, but maybe not at the rate as white. A close runner up for me on the keycaps would have probably been the ones that oh no, where did it go? Hang on. It is the God damn it. I had this open. I guess I closed that browser. Stop it, computer. It was the XDA Profile Retro, which has like the old Apple keyboard font on the keys. But they're white.
They're white.
They're white. No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Do not want.
I did that once. Never again.
Yeah. If they came in any other color, God, if they came in this cream color, because like the old, like LC2, LC3, Performa, and Quadra keyboards were not white. They were sort of like a beige.
Beige. It was.
If they did that in beige,
it wasn't like the PC beige. It was a little lighter, but yeah.
If they did that,
it'd be fine. It'd be great. Yeah,
100% all over. I would absolutely do that in a heartbeat. But yeah, so this is cool. I like it a lot. Again, one weird thing about these keyboards is they're programmable. This keyboard I had to really read the documentation because for some reason, one of the keys just opened Teams.
That's unusual.
I could not solve it. So what I discovered is that you can have 4 layers of programming on this. Layers 1 and 2 are for the Mac. Layers 3 and 4 are for the PC. So when I was doing my programming, I was actually programming the Mac, and that's not what my PC was using. So once I switched to layer 3, I was able to go in and reassign that key, no problem. The keyboard software felt weird.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah,
it's
I've used it.
Fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It did not detect my keyboard. I had to download a huge JSON document, which then let me customize my keyboard. I guess that's table stakes for this culture. I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
But I'm extremely happy with this. I found that these linear switches are really interesting in that if I have even the slightest bit of pressure on them, my little Destiny character runs to the left. So I have to. It's making me be very conscious of where my hands rest when I'm typing or using it. But the typing experience is superb. I like that it's wireless. I could take it over to my Mac and use it if I want to. But it's very, very wonderful to type on, and I'm very happy. And this was the correct. And by the way, even buying the keycaps and buying the cord, I'm still up $200 from where I was before.
Right.
And by the way, this is still a very sturdy keyboard.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So yeah. And if you don't like parts of it, you can tear it apart, replace the switches, replace the plate, whatever you wanted to do. Obviously you did, because you replaced the switches and the keycap. So there you go.
I did. And it was tedious, but it wasn't like a pain in the ass.
Right.
So again, very happy with that. So we're gonna close that and say Drew finally has a keyboard that he likes. I will probably continue to tinker with this and mess with it, but for now, I'm very happy. Good. Last topic in the minutes we have left here. So Apple has announced an event for September 7th.
Yep.
iPhones?
I'm guessing new iPhones and new Apple Watch. That's my guess.
I'll be honest. I've been a little out of the loop in like the rumors and such. Like, what are they saying is going to be the big revolution this year?
For the phones, couple of things. So they're going to have a big. It's all rumors, of course. There's supposed to be a big non-Pro. So there's going to be a 14 Max, a 14 Pro, and a 14 Pro Max. So 4 phones instead of 3. I guess they're getting rid of the mini and making a bigger base phone. The Pros is supposed to have always on displays. And supposedly, the camera sensor is getting a big upgrade this year.
So new cameras, always on screen. Maybe a slightly different form factor.
I'm guessing it's going to be the same design as last year. Maybe a little thicker. Maybe the camera bump's a little bigger, but I don't see a lot of... I think there's actually been some case leaks, and there's not a lot of changes between the 13 and the 14. Design-wise, yeah. Oh, and I think maybe the notch is getting slightly smaller, and it's going to be less notchy and more like the pill holes kind of thing, where the screen will go in between. You know what I mean? Like how Android phones have like a camera, like a pinhole camera, and the screen goes all the way around it.
Sure.
I guess they're doing that with the front-facing camera and Face ID sensor stuff. So
I'm going to be due for some upgrades. My work phone, which was the XR, it just doesn't vibrate anymore. It had a sad vibration for a little while. Now it just doesn't vibrate anymore.
Now, what you could do now, Drew, is if you wanted to have one phone but 2 lines. Now, good. I know you think you use your work phone for other than that, but you could always do the eSIM and have multiple lines on the same phone.
Yeah. The problem is it's not just it.
It's the software. Yeah.
It's 2 things. One, the eSIM thing would work for like my authenticator. Mm-hmm. The problem is to get email and Teams and the other things on there, it has to be a corp managed device.
Got it. Okay.
So I work with people who are perfectly comfortable having that on their work phone. And I think even with like Android devices, you could switch profiles. I don't know if you can do that on an iPhone or not. Like one of my buddies who lives here, actually pretty close to me, he's a big Android guy. And he actually can switch between two discrete profiles where when he's on profile A, it's device managed and he can access company resources and everything. But then when he switches to B, that's all like separated and he can like use the phone for what he wants. I'm fine paying for the separate line, honestly, to keep that level of isolation because, brother, I go weird places on Reddit and like I don't want. And I know,
Yep.
I know Microsoft says they value my privacy, and I believe them. I'm not saying they don't, but I like having that complete separation. I mean, honest to God, like really, my MacBook Pro, which is device managed, I still do personal email on that. Mm-hmm. I do, okay, even though it's used for work, and it's got the certificates and all the other policies and stuff applied to it. I'm okay with that. I'm not. There's nothing there that I'm doing that I'm worried about, right? But my Reddit history is just sad. I'm not even worried about getting fired. It's just sad. I don't want anybody knowing where I go on Reddit. So yeah, I like keeping it separate. But I'm due for an upgrade. What I will probably do is get Mandy and me new phones, and then take my Pro and then make that my
smart
line.
Yeah.
So I'm due. I didn't upgrade last year. You did. I believe you did.
I did. Yeah.
I mean, any plans this year?
I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. I've bought new phones every year for like 3 years now. My gut tells me no, but we'll see what the heart wants when it sees it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Mac rumors, and there's some alleged, leaked photos where there's no longer a cutout at the top. It looks like only the camera and the mic or the earpiece is cut out. So I don't know. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
iPhone 14 Pro, purple and blue colors. Purple. I think I'm fierce enough to rock the purple. Anyway, yeah, we'll keep our ears on that. I'm hoping that we get more details as we get closer. I mean, it's fucking right around the corner. God
It is.
Yeah. All right. Well, that turned into a hell of a show. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah. Hey, we're on the internet, doingtheirbest.com, and on Twitter at doingbestpod. I'm on the Twitters at Paul Baylor. And where do we find you, Drew?
And you can find me cooking eggs and ruining cookware at Pittsburgh, PITTFURG on Twitter.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.